Hi guys, it's Steve from A2UKR. Today we're going to talk about setting up a new business and a few do's and don'ts and maybe what's best to focus on. What we're going to do today is we're going to talk about 5 things, 5 steps, and they're general broad steps, but I think you might find them useful. Probably the most important thing to do when you're trying to set up a business or start up a business is you need an idea. So you need to think about what exactly are you going to do. So for example, you might decide you want to sell a product. It could be a car, it could be a mobile phone, it could be books. Alternatively, you might want to offer a service. You might want to, if you're a plumber, you might want to offer your services. If you're somebody that can make things like gates or doors, because you do woodwork, then you might want to offer those services. So you need to know how to sell yourself so that you can actually make some money. Thirdly, you might be somebody that produces things. You might want to make a cake to sell. So again, you need to know what exactly you want to do as an individual. Myself and my son Max, what we decided we wanted to do was to sell products. So what we started doing, we started going to car booths and selling stuff, things that we had in the house that we didn't need, didn't want. We went to charity shops, bought things there, cleaned them up, made them look good, resold them, made some money. So as I say, the first thing that you need to do is you need to have an idea. Here's my picture of an idea. The next thing that you need to do when you're doing a business is to start small. If you're somebody, for example, that wants to open a restaurant and you've got no idea or no knowledge about a restaurant, even if you've got a few $100,000 or a few £100,000, you'd be daft or silly to go straight and launch into a restaurant, because you're going to make mistakes, you're going to lose loads of money. So the best thing to do is to start small. So if you're wanting to go into catering, if you want to go into that kind of business, start maybe with a hot dog stand. Try that for a few months. If that works, great. You're learning. Move on from a hot dog stand to say a small mobile van. Get around, meet people, talk to people, get to know how the business works. Once you've done that for 6 months or a year or two, maybe then you're then closer to sort of going into something like a small cafe. Set up a cafe. Do that for a while. Once you've done that, and if you're successful, then move on to a restaurant. So don't jump in head first. Start small and work your way up. That will help you in another way, because if you start small, then what you're doing is you're being realistic and you're more likely to start the business. If you think about a restaurant in a city centre with 100 people coming in and you're going to be running the business, that may as well just be a pipe dream. That business is going nowhere. So here we are, is my picture. Start small. You're the little guy, but don't worry, you'll get there, you'll be big one day. The third thing I want to talk about is wasting money. A lot of people, when they start a business, they're afraid of the business. So what they do is they get involved in buying filofaxes, buying new mobile phones, buying lots of brand new business cards. All they're really doing is delaying the inevitable day when they actually have to start the business and actually go out there and make some money. A lot of those people never actually make it. All they do is they just keep spending money and say, oh, I need a new carpet, or I need a new picture for my office, or I need a new phone. They're not going to go into business. If you want to go into business, start right away. Do your research, do your marketing. You can get some cheap business cards. If you've already got a mobile, you don't need a new mobile. You don't need a filofax if you've got a notepad. You can pick one up for $1 or £1. Just get down to making money. Once you've started making money, oh God, then you can get your filofax, your new mobile phone, your new car, your new office. But don't waste your money before you start your business, because you will need that money for your business. If you're buying products, you'll need the money to buy the products. So that's the thing I've got to tell you about on my point 3. And here's my picture. As these pictures get more complicated, my drawings get worse, but you get the message. The 4th thing I want to talk about is networking. Not working, networking. Networking means getting out there, getting out and about, meeting people, talking to people. If you're sitting in the house all on your own and you're not talking to anybody, it's tough. What you need to do is you need to share your experiences, and you need to learn from other people's experiences. So for example, if you're starting out and you want to start small and you want to do a car boot, if you've never done a car boot, go out and talk to somebody. Go out on a Saturday or a Sunday, talk to people that are doing car boots, ask them how you do it. If you've got a friend or a relative who does car boots, join them, go with them, learn how they do it, and then once you've got the confidence, do it on your own. Okay? For those people that are a bit more geeky and like to stay indoors, well, there's Facebook, there's loads of networking sites out there, and there's also lots of organisations that helps people set up businesses. For example, myself and my son, we live in Doncaster, South Yorkshire in England. We've got a fantastic Doncaster Chamber of Commerce, so we've been in touch with them. They've been helping us, they've been supporting us. They know all about business, they've been in the business themselves, so they know it, and they're helping us. So just wait for it, here it comes, the 4th picture. Networking, remember that is quite important. Lastly, what I want to talk about is reinvesting. When we started our business a long time ago, we started small and then we started to grow, and finally we got to the point where we were starting to import from China our products. So we started with an import initially of 100 units. We sold those after a couple of months. Then we got another order, we got 300 units. That went well. We then ordered 500 units. Now we're in the process of ordering 1,000 units. And the great thing about the 1,000 units is that enables us now to negotiate on stronger terms with our supplier about changing our product, making it look more like our own product rather than just a box standard product that we've purchased from abroad. So that's standing us in good stead. But we could only have done that by reinvesting all our money back into the business. So if you make some money, don't go out and buy a new car. Don't go and spend it on a holiday. Don't start going to restaurants 3 times a week instead of 1 time a week. That money that you've made from your business needs to go back into your business, because that is the only way that business is going to grow. Okay? So my advice to you is, don't spend that money on other things. Spend it on the business. You may not necessarily spend all of the money on buying more products. You might want to spend some of it on training. There are training courses out there. Small businesses, you need to know a bit about accountancy. You need to know a bit about taking good photographs and providing good descriptions if you're, for example, learning how to sell on the internet. So, for example, myself, I and my son, we went to Mark Scott Adams, and we learned from him. We learned more about shipping and got involved with a company called John Good Shipping, and we used them. Now, we only knew about those things by networking, by talking to people, and basically, as I said, you need to do those 5 tips that I've told you to do well. So start with an idea, focus on what exactly you want to do, and if it's something that you know about, that's even better. So for example, if you know lots about mobile phones, how they work, then maybe sell mobile phones, because if people ask you that there's a problem with the mobile phone, at least you know how to explain it, and they don't have to return the goods, because there's nothing wrong with the goods, it's just they don't understand them, and you know how to explain it to them. As I say, also start small, because don't throw all your money away and then have lots of problems because you've done things wrong. If you start small, you'll make small mistakes, you won't lose a lot of money, and that will enable you to get stronger, more confident, and you'll do better. And thirdly, as I say, don't waste your money on gadgets. Use that money to buy more products and sell yourself more. And do talk to your friends, don't be shy, talk to your friends. There are people out there that can help you, that want to help you. Sometimes you might need to pay them to help you, but you know, that's an investment and that's what you need to do. And as I say, lastly, make sure that any money that you do make goes back into the pot so that you can reinvest it and then you can watch your business grow and grow. So that's my little tutorial or tip on how to do reasonably well in starting off in business. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon.